Welcome to fastIEP, the software tool that saves you hundreds of hours by allowing you to track the progress of your students' IEP goals in a single click. Let's jump in to view a quick walkthrough of the software. First, let's see how you can add a new student onto fastIEP. Click the Add New Student button to add your student and enter their information. The only required information is the student's name and annual review date. The annual review date helps fastIEP compile all of the data you have recorded into a report at the end of the review period. You can add a photo and customize their circle, but all of this is optional. You can use a nickname, initials or a code instead of the student's real name for added privacy. Okay, let's save and continue. All the information here is optional, but you have the chance to enter the parent's name and contact details, along with a photo and video consent. On the bottom, you can add your para's email to share with them the student's data. We will talk more about this feature later in the video. Click Save and exit. Now we have our new student, Ruth. Let's begin creating her first goal by clicking on the Add, Edit, or Delete Goal button. Here we can add and edit goals. With our Objectives feature, we can now break down our goals into smaller achievable chunks. Let's enable this feature. So the first thing to do is choose a goal category. We have a wide range of categories and domains. For this example, let's select Written Expression and Spelling for the category. The next step is to enter the goal kernel, which is what we are measuring. For our example, Ruth will spell and print her name on the top of her worksheets. Next, I need to enter my performance threshold and observation period. For performance threshold, what is the threshold at which we consider her skills successful? For this goal, let's say with 80% accuracy. And how many times will I be measuring this goal? We will say 4 out of 5 trials. Now you see on the bottom the full text of the goal is automatically filled in for you. We can continue adding objectives to this goal by simply clicking this button. You can add as many objectives as you want. Now, the master goal is one goal kernel, and the objectives has the criteria that we are measuring. That goal will appear in a tile when you click back to the main screen. Now that we are back on the main screen, we can see how each student has a different color scheme and different icons. All tiles are different colors to help easily identify goals for each student. fastIEP also has clear visual reminders for what goals you need to log. Speaking of logging goals, let's see how we can log a student's goal with one single click. Let's begin with the goal without objectives. For this goal, each time Maya expresses her true emotions, you will select yes. If not, you will select no. You can see the performance threshold calculated whether or not she reached 80% this trial. When the trial is complete, you will end the observation period, and if Maya reached the performance threshold, you'll see a green segment filled in on the right slider. Now switching back to Ruth. How do we track her goal when she also has objectives? Don't worry, there is not much different. For goals with objectives, we will be tracking each objectives individually, selecting yes or no when the student has or hasn't performed the objective. Each time you end an observation period or the assessment week is over, the right slider will or will not fill a segment based on the data entered. You will do these for all the objectives in this one particular goal. The master goal will complete when both objectives are completed. Lastly, each time you enter yes or no, you also have an option to add an annotation with either a note, photo, or video of that progress. When coming back to Ruth's main page, you can see her progress on each objectives and the percentage she is making to achieve the overall master goal. If you just click the Show Progress History button, you can actually see the progress of all the goals that you tracked right here on this screen. However, if you want to see all your data, just come up here and switch from the goal view to the data view. The data view will give you overall progress on all the goals. You'll see all your data here on a dynamic chart, which you can interact with to view exactly what you need. You'll also see the description of each goal's progress. This is automatically generated in text, and you can copy and paste it straight into your reports. You can look at each individual goal and whether they were achieved. And then if you had added any images or videos or notes when recording progress, those would all appear here. All of this information can be printed out in a PDF that you can just insert straight into your reports. I just click this button and I'll get a full report for that student's progress up to this moment. Now going back to Ruth. Let's say we want to share her IEP progress with a paraprofessional. fastIEP now has a way for you to do exactly that. You will go over to your account icon and hover over the drop-down menu and click Share with a Para. From there, you will add in your para's name and email, and making sure you have the correct student selected, click the Share button. When back on the main screen, fastIEP will notify you if that student has a para underneath their name. Your para now will have access to your fastIEP account to help track data points, but doesn't have permission to edit the information on the account.